up your head, pick up your body, get on the bus, it's time to party. It's Gregory, it is a Saturday night, Gregory. Take your socks off and take your pants on, get in the car and drive on.
Welcome to Friday Night Greg. Friday Energy on a Wednesday fucking morning. First of all, shout out to everyone who recently just joined the Patreon. I don't know. I mentioned it last week, but I just went ahead and did it. No more tiers, baby. This is a no-tier system for the Patreon. Everyone who signs up, $5, you get everything now. No more fucking 5, 10, 15. I want everybody to feel. I want to let gas prices are up, but the Patreon is down, baby. So go to the patreon.com/the Greg Stone Zone. Sign up. There's so much fun, great shit up there. First of all, old Patreon episodes of the Rad Dudecast. If you're a Rad Dudecast fan, you want to listen to those episodes, those are there. Then I have just put up a Night Cream concert at the Cellar. That was unbelievable. We have Deal With It, episodes of Deal With It, which is the I don't know if you guys, if you're not a Patreon member, you might not know. Deal With It is the show where we have a guest on, and I just get real high, and they got to deal with it. Tons of videos, some stand-up clips, stand-up videos, just so much content up there. So join. You can also pay for the year. Pay for the fucking year. They got to worry about it. You figure that shit out anyway. Just ask yourself, am I worth a cup of coffee to you? Have you gotten a cup of coffee worth of entertainment from me from the free episodes? Also, ad-free episodes, video. It's all there. Check that out. Also, super excited about my guest today. I love this man. Long time overdue. I should have had you a long time ago. It's a very good friend of mine. Very hilarious comedian. You have a podcast. What's the fucking podcast called?
It's called Brand New Jerks.
Brand New Jerks.
It's a podcast for recovering people pleasers, but we mostly just bullshit.
I love it. Put a fake name just to get him in the door, and then just do what you want.
Yeah,
that's essentially what this is.
The goal of the pod is to become more assertive, which we do talk about, but it's not.
Are you not assertive?
I'm not. I don't think of myself as assertive. I'm insanely insecure. Like,
Yeah,
I constantly. We know how it is. We've had like full on long conversations about this.
But I feel like you've gotten way. I don't see you as insecure.
That's good to hear. I am. I think, depending on what it is, I don't know if you feel the same way. I think we've talked about this.
Oh, Sean Donnelly.
Oh yeah, that's my name.
So
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't say your name.
Yeah, people, they thought it was Gilbert Godfrey, his ghost with this voice, or Charlie Day. They're like, is that Charlie Day, but less successful? Absolutely. I think that comedy's made me more confident, but there's so many things that happen in comedy that can knock you right down.
Yeah.
I still have that insecurity and that like wanting to people please, and anything as minor as like saying sorry for something you didn't do,
Just saying hello.
or
Sorry.
just I stink at comedy and I should have quit like 5 years ago, whatever it is. It's like big stuff and little stuff.
Well, there's nothing in our business that allows you to know that you're good, because there's so many people that are just bad and they think they're good.
Yes.
So then you just go, well, I'm that.
Yes.
I'm that. No,
Yeah.
you're not that, man.
Yeah.
You look, Sean, look at me. And whatever I say to you, you guys say it right back to me.
Yeah.
You're fucking not that. You're very good.
Greg?
Yeah.
Look at me.
Uh-huh.
You're not that. You're not that.
Funny. I'm hearing it. It doesn't go in. It doesn't sink in.
I know. It's
Why?
crazy. It's I don't know why. I think it's very, because we're nice guys. I have a thing. I have rules with comedy. Like, this might be too inside.
No.
Whatever. But like, I don't say good set to somebody if they don't have a good set.
Right.
I don't think it's fair to somebody.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me.
It keeps them in the business when they shouldn't be here longer.
100%.
You know?
It's like you're clogging the drain.
Right.
It's if I just get the fuck out. Like,
Right.
get out of the whole thing. Get out of
And
the
they
way.
know, and then they won't trust you.
Exactly. That's 100% right.
Yeah.
There's little tricks you can do. Like, I'll do like, hey, I'll just put my fist up, like
Right.
a fist bump. That kind of like it makes it seem like I'm saying good.
I pick
job.
the one thing from their set that I like.
That's a good. That's
And just go, oh, that joke about that's really funny.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
because at least being honest.
Right. Yeah.
But I agree. I think there's a lot. I have a lot of opinions about like the the fundamentals of like meaning like the like business side of things, or like people staying in it too long, like we're talking about. It's rampant.
I've stayed in
I
it
don't
too
think people know about it. I also think that people who don't do it think that you just like, hey, comedy's something you decide to do, and you decide to go do a TV and have your own TV show. And you
Oh, right.
decide to-
Yeah, go do Letterman. That's
yeah,
my mom would-
yeah, go do that.
Go do Letterman. Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of shit involved that I.
Dude,
the longer I'm in, the more I become like an authority in my own mind about the stuff.
dude, And there's shit like this. Also, I forgot to say this in the beginning. With the new Patreon tiers, I have to change every single episode on the Patreon so that everyone has access. So that's going to take a while. So just know that I'm changing all of those episodes so that people can get them. Also, fucking Max over here, I gotta shit on this guy for a second. The Patreon, he was allowing everyone who subscribed to have access. So there are people who are just, I know who you are, people who changed to $1 and then we're just getting all access for 3 months because Max didn't know about the tier system. I'm taking it out of your goddamn paychecks, Max, you son of a bitch. All of a sudden, people were like, hey, I'll just donate for it. They went from like $10 donation to $1 and I went, oh man, this guy must be going through it. And then I realized, oh no, they saw that everyone's allowed. But now everyone's getting 5, which is good. It's 5 for everyone. But
it'll bring it back. It'll course correct.
I was reading exit surveys of the Patreon, and you tell me if I'm. Let me just read this to you. Someone who subscribed to my Patreon. I'm just going to read this to you. What they said. It is to my Patreon. So in order to be a Patreon subscriber, I would imagine you're a fan. I would imagine you've heard the podcast.
Who's joining Patreons willy-nilly? Who's blind joining Patreons?
This guy wrote on his exit survey for the show called Friday Night Greg. Greg talks way too fucking much on the eps. I'd resubscribe if he could shut him up for a few seconds, but we both know that ain't happening. Friday Night Greg! It's me and someone else.
If you don't like me, get out.
I mean, how did you even subscribe?
Yeah.
Maniacs.
Yeah. I think there's this new need that happens because of the social media and that stuff like this where there's people that are just like, I have to be shitty when it comes to online. Because in person, I'm sure he would have explained it away and been like, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
The guest, he would have been all polite and been like, I was half kidding. I was like, it was an exit thing. I was giving you a little bit of shit, whatever he's going to say. But it's like, but you don't realize, it's like text translations that don't come off.
Yeah.
You can't do sarcasm on text. You can't do.
Don't talk too much.
Yeah. Exactly.
On a thing that's like going to a Shake Shack being like, too many fucking burgers. That's what we do.
My name's in the title.
It's Friday Night Greg. You're lucky there's other people here.
Dude, I never. Do you respond to social media shit like that? When people say shady stuff.
Sometimes.
I do. I try not to. I was going shows in I just got back from. I went to Montana.
Yeah.
It's like mini little thing. It was like the independent show thing.
Yeah.
Because I was dying to go to Montana.
Yeah.
And this dude, I had a thing I posted about it was like a gun control website that I was like, this seems sensible.
Right.
And I wrote the tweet was I wrote Maverick was awesome because I just saw Maverick.
Sure.
But also this seems pretty sensible to me.
Right.
And that was 4 tweets after that I tweeted, and then this dude responds to that tweet and says, is this the kind of bullshit you're going to be doing on stage in Bozeman, Montana? If it is, I'll just won't go, whatever it is. And I go, at first I was just going to be very quick, and I go, no. I wrote back no.
Yeah.
Because I'm not political.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck this motherfucker. I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
So I wrote back and I go, please do not come to the show. I said, do not come to the show.
Yeah.
And he writes back, he goes, well, good luck with the 10 people at the worst bar in Bozeman dealing with your whatever.
You were never going anyway. That guy was never going.
Exactly. I wrote back, you asked about the show. You seem too sensitive. Do not come to the show. And that was it.
Dude, no, I'll call him out. I don't give a shit. This guy, I like this guy. Today I posted a thing on Twitter that sometimes, I don't know if you know this about me. My Twitter is not, I don't put a lot in. I don't write jokes for Twitter like some people do. I just usually get a little high, and then I'll just post something crazy. But this was I just wrote, what does God bless even mean? What is it? Do people think it works? How long does a bless run for? If I get blessed when I'm a kid, is it good to tell I'm a senior? I need explanations. Now look.
Tell him a senior. Wait, senior citizen or a senior in high school?
A senior in high school. I mean, a senior citizen. I just kind of meant what? Because people say bless you, and I'm kind of like, what does that even mean? Are you expecting something to happen? Are you thinking, well, what does God bless you mean? Not even when I sneeze, when people go hey, I want to say thanks, God. What does that even mean? That was just a half of an idea. I didn't even write the joke. Barry Ribs, whom I love Barry Ribs. He writes.
You mean Doc Brown from Back to the Future?
Yeah. It's a comedian who's been around for 1 million years. He's 100,000 years old. He just wrote, first off, trim the fat.
Trim the fat.
On a tweet. So I wrote, sorry, Barry, I'll make these tighter for you. I know you don't have much time left on Earth. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Barry? What were you trying to get out of that?
Yeah.
Trim the fat? Okay, it could be a better joke. Maybe I should work hard on Twitter. No, fuck you. That's not what I do. Go to Instagram, go to shows, listen to my podcast.
It's Twitter.
It's fucking Twitter. Twitter, where, by the way, I get on tops 10 to 15 likes on things.
Same.
A video you put on fucking Instagram, 10,000 TikTok, millions of views.
Yeah.
But why, somehow I'm still going over to Twitter where people just spit in your fucking face.
Yeah.
I'm like an abused wife over there.
I do the thing where I'll write a joke that I think is brilliant on Twitter, and more times than one, a guy, I don't know if it's the same guy.
Yeah.
I keep getting that gif of the guy with his hand up doing that.
I've never even seen that.
Oh, I've gotten it a few times, and it infuriates the
I blocked
shit
them.
out of me.
I blocked them. I blocked them. This is my new motto now. It's why I'm giving you so much free shit. Stand-up clips, podcasts. You are blocked. You no longer get access to the free shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Point.
And I'm kind of having this like moment now, especially with this podcast, where I'm like, you know, like I don't make a ton of money on this podcast. Mostly it's from the Patreon, but it's like I'm putting out an hour of content for non-Patreon, and then an hour of content for Patreon, and then I'm putting out all my stand-up for free, and then I'm doing, it's like all this shit you do for free, and it's like people just expect you to do it, and I'm like, no more, I can't.
Yeah.
And only because I have this kid now, it's like, dude, I don't know if I told you, but daycare is $2,300 a month.
Jesus.
This is
Christ.
this is
It's like
not a
renting
life
another apartment.
I can live anymore. It's more than my apartment already.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't a life. I need to figure out how to make this fucking work.
Yeah, right.
Because it's like, why am I giving everyone everything for hard shit worked hard on?
Yeah.
And I'm just giving it to everyone for free. And it's like, I mean, I don't know that it's sustainable. It's just, I mean, look, I'm sorry.
I agree. I'm in the same boat. But you're in a more
Sure.
different boat because
This
the
is a kid.
That's I understand what
But
you're
I think it's pick and choose. I think I'm just going to like, all right, maybe I just stop putting up clips. Because which one is, it's all advertising for you. I'm like, all right, I'm done with the advertising. Why is all my advertising for free? Someone start fucking, you work the clubs, and it's like, what spot pay you're living off of? It's
Not
kind of
happening.
horrifying right now.
No, it's got to be a thing. Well, that's why when people like, I hate the trope because I think I joined in on it. The 80s like an 80s hacky comic. I'm like, they weren't. They were not hacky. What was happening was they would have an opportunity to do 5 minutes in front of 30 million people. There is people now that will get quote unquote famous the way the business is now and probably never be seen by the eyeballs of 30 million people over the course of whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like how many people that is seeing you do one thing that doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
And then we have to become like marketing and like SEO geniuses at this point. You know, that's the hard part about the business now because we've been doing it long enough to remember like, remember when they're like that one opportunity could blow you right up?
Right.
Not happen.
See, you and I are also in the thing, I think, even worse. Not even worse for me. I don't know why I'm saying even worse for me. But like we were in a spot where like we were told it's like, do this for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then you get great and things will happen.
Yeah.
Now it's like, we did it for 10 years. Now I'm great. And they're like, oh, no, we want young no matter what.
No matter what.
And it's like, oh, so what happens to, we were these middle people. If I had just started a little bit earlier, I would have loved to ride that white guys get everything train. That was just
fantastic.
I look, I don't support it, but now I'm like, yeah, man, I would have loved to have milked that fucking thing for a little while.
100%.
I don't want to get too much into that shit, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
understand what you're saying.
What's the so this is something I wanted to talk to you about. Do you have like a common thing that people say to you online that you just makes you, aside from the
The thing. There's not that it makes me actually mad. There's one thing that I always get tagged, and there's a meme. It's not even a meme. It's just a picture of a baby that looks like it's balding, and it has like an old. He's wearing the outfit of like an old Irish leprechaun or something. Like it's like this. But I've been tagged in that picture. It's like a little Irish baby with red hair, and the baby does not have a beard, obviously.
Hilarious.
If you looked at it quick, you'd be like, that baby has a beard. Like it looks. Just like
he's
me.
got the essence of a beard.
Everybody's like, oh, this is you as a baby.
Yeah.
And I've probably been tagged in it about 20-something times. Like, whatever it is. But it doesn't make me mad as more as like when people are just
We've done it.
shitty. But yeah, when people are actually shitty. Yeah.
It's funny because I've had a few TikTok videos go, and every time they go, I get to find out who I look like at that moment.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I got, so for about 3 or 4 months, over 50 to 60 people have made reference to the fact that I look like Ted Cruz. And I never saw it. And then I saw it, and I went, fuck, they're kind of right. This sucks. Guess I look like Ted Cruz now. And then that died out. But the new trend, this has started happening in the past 2 days.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 people all write, love Bob Belcher's comedy, which Bob's Burger, the cartoon.
Oh,
Which-
I don't see that one.
The cartoon of Bob, the mustache, I guess I kind of get it.
kinda-
Hairy arms.
yeah, a little bit.
3 or 4 people have already done Bob Belcher, and I went, all right, I guess this is, I'd rather Bob Belcher than Ted Cruz.
Oh, I got one time. I did. Comedy Central used to have a show called At Midnight.
Yeah.
And it was like a comedy game show.
Yeah.
I know you remember. I'm just saying. But one time, they do a thing when you get kicked off of it. When you get out of the game, you're like, do you have any parting words? And I go, thank you. I've been fat Kyle Kinane. Like, and then some dude, like on the video of when I was on it, like a clip of it, where I say that
Come on.
on the tape, wrote, "Oh, look, it's fat Kyle Kinane," and I wrote below it, "I said that."
Yeah, that's my joke.
I did it.
That's my bit.
I get Tom Segura a lot. Like they're like, "Oh, fucking
Irish
low
Tom Segura.
low rent Tom Segura," or like broke Tom, whatever it is. Yeah.
Also, stop with the low rent jokes. There is no low rent.
There's no.
I would love a low rent rental apartment. I would love a low rent. Find me any real low rent, because there's no low rent.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
go ahead.
so I get that, and then I lost a little bit of weight, so I got George Carlin. I get that too.
Oh, that's fun.
But yeah, I don't mind that one. But I'm like,
Yeah.
one time I go, but not, you know me, not like act wise. Like, no, I just mean like your face kind of.
Yeah. And I also want to say I do feel bad complaining, because like what is cool is that we've definitely made it to a place in comedy that 99% of the people in the world
Yeah.
can't or haven't.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be. I don't even give a shit about fame. I just need a little more money. And I got a little more money.
I'm
like there's
right
just
there
a
with you.
certain amount of money I would be like, I'd stop complaining. I'd be done. Just get me to a normal job amount of what a 41-year-old
Yeah.
should be making a year.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, hey, I'm good, guys. You'll never hear. I'm super happy. I'm super happy.
Because did you change over with the it's hard work thing? I used to downplay that when people would say, well, you worked very hard. You do this as a job. You worked very hard. And I used to go, what are you talking about? I hang out with my friends and I do spots. And I was trying to, like, in my mind, devalue it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I really thought about it. And I'm like, no, it was hard work. We work very hard at this,
Yeah.
meaning that we sacrifice a lot of stuff. It's a lot of things people can't do.
Right.
I've also realized that about comedy, where I'm like, that's made me more confident, realizing like if people are shitty after shows or shitty online, my go-to is you won't do this.
Right.
You will not do this. And that's what I have. Yeah,
Oh,
I might
yeah.
be broke, but that's what I have.
Can I pause you?
No, go ahead.
Just to that exact extent, because people go, they look at themselves and they go, I'm funny, I could do that. And
Yeah.
they go, you could, but you won't.
But you won't do it.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not about talent. Talent is easy. Talent is a million people. It's the fucking work.
The actual
Are you willing to stay in this for 20? I got into this the day after 9/11. It's like, that's how long. Dude, and I'm listening to people who they talk to me like, oh, I remember doing comedy in 2005. I was like, yeah, me too. And they have no idea I've been doing this long. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's kind of sad. But it's kind of, people told me, this is what I think is kind of funny. It's like, people told me, don't worry about money. Just worry about happiness. And I am happy right now.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to just have a little bit of
Yeah.
money.
It's a little bit of bullshit.
You know what I mean?
Like money doesn't bring happiness. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't bring it gets rid of some sadness.
Yeah. It gets rid of
takes away
stress.
sadness as well.
Yeah, it gets rid of stress,
Yeah.
which is fine. But also, like, I get to eat. I just, know what kind of money I like to make? That I could eat out when I want.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
You know, and I just be like, hey, I don't got to worry about eating out when
Yeah.
I want. That'd be nice. I don't want to complain. I really am, because look at Max. That guy's wearing the same outfit for 6 weeks. And this guy, yesterday I saw him chewing on a keyboard. That's how hungry he was.
Holy mackerel.
I know. So you want mamoons? He's like, no, I'm full. The guy ate half a keyboard.
So things could be worse.
Yeah, I think it could be worse.
No, I think
Guy wears shorts in the winter.
does he?
Not because he's hot. He's just guy doesn't have pants. I'm gonna get him some pants.
He cuts his winter pants and shorts and doesn't think ahead.
Yeah. Poor Max.
Back.
Max, you Jewish?
Yeah, of course.
I was just wondering. I wasn't sure. Oh, thanks.
But no,
Of course.
I don't think it's complaining. I think it's like concerns that a lot of people have. I'm glad to hear it. Whenever we talk about it, and you're even saying it now, like it makes me feel better that it's like, oh, because I think we're all in our heads and we go, oh, we're the only one this is happening to. Because
Right.
you're with yourself all day.
And you're with all these people who are like,
And we know guys that are doing fantastic. So but you don't want to be. But you also have to remember, not like I'm not. It's not an envy thing. It's like, hey, good for you. But I'm like, how do I get to that point?
yeah, I'm not mad at them, but also a lot of people in this business will talk about how great everything's going because they're just so insecure. And then when you're not insecure, I guess that's why I don't consider you as insecure as you think, because you are confident with who you are.
Yeah.
And and it's like, and that's, I'll be vulnerable and tell people the truth, and they go, "Oof, not me.
Yeah.
Ugh,
I think it's like that's like the way I think we know the guys that we know that we relate to in comedy are the ones that can pull that curtain back and go, oh yeah, like everybody meets people that you go on the road with them or something, and then you tell them 3 bombing stories, and they just tell you all the times they've killed on stage, and you're like, yeah, we're never gonna be friends ever in my life. At least there's supposed to be a club here where we're commiserating so that we keep going. It's a thing that
It's so hard also to tell. This is the thing that's weird to me too. Is we live in a place where it's hard to like tell people of success with anything. Like I had a kid. And I told someone, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so happy with my son." And one of my friends was like, "Oh, we're trying, and I can't have one." Like, made me feel bad about
made it about themselves.
Made it about themselves, and I'm like, I never feel comfortable telling people successes, but we all feel totally comfortable telling people about the losses. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I wonder if I would be doing better. You know what Annie Letterman said to me? Sorry, that's just like I went 5 different directions.
No, go ahead.
You know what Annie Letterman said to me?
What?
Which I love Annie. I mean, I was going to say Annie, of course. I mean,
Annie.
Annie and I was with Annie last weekend, and we were talking about money, and she goes, "Let me ask you something. Do you hate money?" And I was like, "Yeah, I kind of always just hated it because I saw what it did to people, and I never liked money." And she goes, "Why would money want to be around you if you hated it?" It's like crazy what she said, but it was so true. It's like start having a better relationship.
This is Wall Street 3
with money.
was Annie Letterman Gordon Gekko? With
No,
bits?
but then Dan Shacky was like, "You should write a letter to money. I'm gonna, dear money, I miss you. Come." But I've
Send money flowers.
spent my life avoiding money because I wanted to be a good comedian and I didn't want to be that. And now that I'm like 41, I'm like, no, you better start figuring out money. You better start having a better relationship with money
Yeah.
and figuring out how to get money.
Yeah.
And so now that's more what I'm doing. I'm not going to be a piece of shit, but like, yeah, I'm going to push the Patreon more. Yeah, I'm going to like
Yeah, that's a good idea.
go and asking for people like, like, hey, can I do your show? I'm going to start doing more of that.
Somebody brought up a great point about how, for years, what they're saying is everybody in comedy now owes Steve Hofstetter a huge apology. And I can't disagree.
Right.
What comedy is now, all the successes we're talking about what the model is as far as the business,
Yeah.
DIY, all that jazz. This guy's been doing that for I would say 12, 15, like 12 years.
Videos. Yeah.
The fake, whatever his fake crowd, whatever that fucking thing is,
Yeah.
the comedian destroys. But there's a lot of people there's a guy on TikTok. It's infuriating. This is what I'm talking about. I like the money quote that she said. I actually I'm in the same boat as you. It's like I need part of that. I was never a good business guy, but fuck you if you're going to be the guy on TikTok. Some comedian in LA. I actually don't remember his name. Makes fake stand-up clips. Have you seen this guy?
No.
Have you seen this?
No, tell me.
He literally just puts like a curtain in his apartment,
Mm-hmm.
stands in front of it, makes it seem like lights it like he's in a comedy club, and it's really close on his face. There's no crowd shots. It's taken like tight, and then he just uses fake laughter and does his bits like he's on stage.
Is the joke that he's not in a club, or is he?
It's not ironic.
Some people think he might be in a real club.
I think a lot of people think he's in a real club. It's set up to make it because if you look at it and you don't know, you would think that he's in a club.
I hate that you're only guest here because I would want you to find it, but I can't. We can't have that air.
I wouldn't even know how. I forget. Somebody might know his name.
Wow,
It's
that's
Jeff-
wild.
It's fucking. That's the problem. So what I think happened is during pandemic, it used to be when you had all the Vine people and the TikTok people. I think comedians had a little snootiness where they go, "Well, at least I go up on stage and I kill in front of people live, and I have that and have
Yeah.
the art of stand up." And then our job didn't exist for 2 years, and comics were like, "Hey, I need to be paid, so I'll just bend over and be what you are."
Right.
And then things like this get through the fucking gate.
Yeah.
Because people are like, hey, but they're hustling, they're
Right.
doing it, which I get it. I'm not gonna begrudge anybody, hey, it's business, but fuck you for that's not stand up. Or the people who told you they started doing stand up during pandemic. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, you started
you
doing
were in a
shit.
park or you were on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like you still have to have the respect to call the thing what the thing is.
Right. I'm okay with not that with whatever, but like with people finding their own way. Like if he was like, all right, I know I'm not in front of a crowd, but I'll do my own thing. Like I'm totally cool with people breaking outside the box as long as they have some kind of. It's not the first idea. It's not the artistic. Like if you're artistic about something, go right ahead and do it. Like I think there are people who do like really good. Like when Tony Baker started doing those dog videos of him.
know what that is.
Oh my God, Tony Baker.
Oh, is that the one with the dog was reacting and he?
He just does dog voice. Like he has a dog video, cute dog video, and he does all the voices.
Okay.
And it got me through pandemic.
Yeah,
It made me laugh so hard. It was just good clean, sweet, hilarious fun.
There's a thing on TikTok now that I love that I follow these guys. It's these group of like these black dudes and that go walk around and they have the it's the same song that always plays and they walk around and pretend like they're taking photos with random people in the street, but it's all video and you see how these people react. I love every minute of it.
I don't get it.
Like they're in a mall or they're in a supermarket or something.
Yeah.
It's a group of these like 4 guys, really really fun looking guys walking around, going up to random people and just surrounding them like they're like about to pose for a photo.
Yeah.
And then either people ignore them or people get like into it and just put their hands up. It should be dumb. I watch it.
Entertaining?
I'll find it. I'll show you. It's so entertaining.
Right.
But it's simple stuff, but it's also positive and joyful. I think.
Ooh, look, we got one behind us.
Oh, here it is.
This is Tony Dog? No, who's this? Tony Baker.
Tony.
Oh, this is the
You think
best.
Tony Dogs?
This is Tony Dogs. Yo, watch this. Oh, put it up. It's just this.
And he just does that all the time. Yeah,
And
that's
they're
cute.
so sweet and cute. And I'm like, I love it. I don't give a fuck. My ringtone is Tony Baker going, oh, hell no, hell no. I met him. I'm never starstruck. He came to the cellar and I went, Tony, I got to be honest with you, man. You got me through the pandemic. Like you did. Like I was miserable and I was excited about your videos.
You know who I met over the weekend?
Who?
Young Joe Pesci from Goodfellas. Like this guy, who played Tommy, the young Tommy. Are you a Goodfellas guy?
No.
Are you really?
You're going to be so mad at me right now.
I'm not. I can't because when people preface that, then you look like an asshole if you get mad at somebody.
No,
for
you
seeing
can
a
be
movie.
mad at me.
You've never seen it.
No. I was not allowed to watch mob movies growing up
The Italian thing?
because my family thought that I would join the mob. But the one I know, it's ridiculous.
Do not skip that. Hold on. What if they really thought you would see mob movies and then join the mafia?
And then you go, this is what I want to do. This is what. Also, I have some people in my family who may or not been were definitely in the mob. Definitely, I have definitely people in my family. Who were in the mob.
Oh, so it wasn't unfounded. It wasn't.
No, it was founded, my friend. That Coraluz. There's a couple Coraluzos who went missing.
No.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that they're like, you're gonna go, Mom, Dad, I'd like to be a gangster.
I like to
When I grew
follow.
up, I'd like to be. You do a school project that's you just whacking somebody in a crayon drawing.
Dude, I told you about my uncle. I had this uncle. Millen and I wake up, and my dad lived in the Bronx, and I had this uncle. I don't know. That's why it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm like 9 years old.
Shazam.
Middle of the night. My dad. I never seen this guy in my life. My dad goes, "Hey, Greg, this your uncle? Whatever." I already said his name. Believe his name, please. He has a scar on his neck from here, from the just right up the jugular.
Holy cow.
And I go, "Hey, Uncle Blank, how you doing? How'd you get the scar?"
And because you were little.
Little.
Yeah.
I go, "How'd you get the scar?" He looks at me, and goes, "I got bit by a dolphin." It just starts laughing. I'm like, "What the fuck?" Showed up at my dad's house in the middle of the night. 2 weeks later, disappears. No one ever hears from him again. Did research on this guy. He technically was bit by a dolphin, but not on the neck. He went to like this low-rent SeaWorld. Wasn't the real SeaWorld. Went to a low-rent SeaWorld, shoved his arm into a dolphin's mouth because it was like a petting thing, went to a mob lawyer, fucked his arm up, like literally like put a knife into his arm, lost a lot of that feeling, so he wanted to sue fake SeaWorld. Fake sort of was like, you clearly did this. He made like $3,000. Like, yeah, it's
Holy
wild.
shit, that's amazing.
So back to Goodfellas. I saw Goodfellas when I was way too young, and I think it just disturbed. Like it disturbed me, and I couldn't get over it. Like I couldn't get behind the idea of good guys because in movies I watched when I was young, the main character is the good guy, and the main character is doing drugs as a kid.
You were like,
I was like, no, I don't like this. Maybe it made me not feel right, and I still go back and I go, I just don't.
unsettling to you.
It's like, yeah, I just don't like it. I watched it too young.
It's funny because I saw Pulp Fiction when I was 14, and then you have the Gimp scene in Pulp Fiction, and that messed me up.
Gib?
The Gimp.
The Gimp. Yes.
The S&M scene with,
Yeah.
with the rape and that. I shouldn't have seen that.
Yeah.
And I remember reading a thing in Newsday, like they had like a review, and they said sodomy. I don't even know what sodomy was at that point.
Right.
And they mentioned sodomy in the thing, and I'm like, I kind of know that something's up with this, and it's not good.
Yeah.
And I went to see it with my dad. And I don't think he knew that scene was in there. And I remember in the car ride being like nervous when we were going to see it. I'll never forget the feeling.
Wow.
Yeah. I also was not allowed to watch Problem Child, the movie, when I was a kid.
Of course.
Because they mentioned him having ADD in it, and I have ADD.
Yeah.
And my mom thought I'd feel bad because they like make fun of ADD in the movie.
I just thought of this. Sodom and Gomorrah, the whole thing of like, there's like sodomy comes from the word from Sodom and Gomorrah,
Right.
which was sodomy, I guess, was happening. So it was just a gay town?
No, I think it was supposed to just be debauchery. I don't think it was just gay. I think it was like
Debauchery.
all this. Yeah, just it was like Freaknik, but in biblical times. Yeah, it was just like an orgy, just a town with no morals. That's the whole idea. So sodomy comes from like, I don't even know. Is the definition anal sex? Is that what sodomy is supposed to be?
I guess. I don't know.
Or is it like, I think it's an old
is it rape?
thing of like unnatural sex. Or,
Unnatural.
yeah.
Oh, get out of here. This is some wild shit, man. I had this weird thought. Anyway, moving right along.
But I think that's why. I think Sodom would have been like hey, no rules here. It's Daytona Beach, 1988, spring break. You can do whatever you want.
This is what I wanted to get into before. What toys did you have growing up?
Oh, I had a ton. I had My Pet Monster.
That was a fun one.
And remember
the breakable chain.
The breakable chains. The day I got it for my communion at my communion party. My older cousin, by accident, actually broke the chains.
Dick.
Yeah. So for 3 times I might have like redid the chains and broke them, and then he was like, "What's this?" Boom, and breaks them.
It's like the funnest part.
Yeah.
It comes with a chain that's breakable.
Oh my God.
He was huge too. My Pet Monster was big.
It was big, furry. It was like a stuffed animal for a boy, but they didn't want to call it that, so they had to make it like, look, he's breaking out of chains.
They just made a boy stuffed animal.
Boy stuffed animal.
That's all that was.
But I had Cabbage Patch dolls. I had those.
What company made My Pet Monster?
It might have been like one of those like not Blammo, but like one of those.
Rare. My Pet Monster is $349 on
Is
eBay.
it?
That's what's going for on eBay.
I think you can find it for cheap. I think it depends on the quality of it. But
because he has both sets of handcuffs. You get him without the handcuffs. I'm sure he's way easier to get without handshakes.
That's extra. I think it came with one, dude. There was no leg handcuffs. That's just the Gimp scene from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, he's not a prisoner as a doll.
You can't have slave My Pet Monster. That's just not right.
How did this not freak children out?
Here's the thing. He only has the hand ones. The original My Pet Monster. Then that was later. When I got him, it was 80. I was in second grade.
And weren't they silver?
What?
I thought they were being silver. Maybe my mind.
No, they were orange. I remember they're orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
I love this thing. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
It was also, it might have been a textural thing because his belly was corduroy.
Yeah.
And he had the fur, and his nose was this bulbous like plastic thing that had bumps on it. So I think that might have been part of the appeal for kids that had all these different materials on it. That like, when am I dealing with corduroy? Maybe
Right.
pants when you go to mass.
Let me tell you this.
But, yeah.
You give me a My Pet Monster when I'm 13.
Yeah.
He's that big.
Yeah.
I'm fucking him. I hate to be dirty, but that's what I'm doing.
Well, we used to kind of do that. We would hump pillows anyway. So
I would
kind
hump
of the
the
same thing.
shit out of My Pet Monster.
yeah.
I'd just drill a hole in his mouth. Sorry, I know it's a little crass. That's the reality of what I am.
Bang My Pet
That's
Monster.
who I am.
Well,
he's gonna think I'm the monster.
Well, you'd be the monster if you keep the chains on while you're doing it.
What do you got, Max? What'd you pull up here?
This is.
They made new ones?
They made other ones maybe later on. But what year was that?
Do you remember the movie?
No.
They did a My Pet Monster movie. Can you look that up?
Wait, live action?
Yeah. It was
Did they?
horrifying. I think it got like half a score on
It was like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
No, that's a better movie than this.
Yeah.
This was like Garbage Pail Kids. It was like kind of too scary for children, but totally for children.
so crazy.
99% sure they did a My Pet Monster movie. 99%.
I remember all my toys from. I was a big
What else?
wrestling figure guy. Wrestling.
The ones that didn't move their arms?
The big rubber arm. What?
They're just like this.
Yes,
They just
yeah.
didn't move their arms.
Yep.
That's like the worst
Well-
idea for wrestling figures.
But they were rubber. Yeah, but we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But I had the ring, and I loved it.
The ring?
They had a
The
ring.
ring.
WWF ring.
Yeah.
It was WWF before WWE. And I had the ring, and when I was still an age where I would have used it, I was probably still like 12, like right before I would have been. My mom gave it away to Goodwill by accident. She thought she was giving like clothes or something, and she
Give away the ring.
gave away the ring with all the figures. And I was like, "Where are my wrestling figures?" She's like,
That was not
"I
an
don't know."
accident. Let me tell you this as a parent.
You think it was a thing that I used it too much, and she was like,
I think it was a thing where she's like, I think he's over. Oh, did you pull the movie up, Max?
I think so. I found something that's like a trailer.
let me. I gotta see this because it might fuck me up because I love the toy so much.
Max, we don't see anything, just so you know.
There's no visual.
Possess the power to transform
Yeah. This is it.
Is that Andy Milonakis?
Into monsters.
I think this is it.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's a joke, right?
I wonder if this is
My theories are correct. I am vindicated.
Oh, they have like Monster Mash playing in
Big
the
guy.
background.
Yeah.
In that
Oh, that's he's from some. He's
Max? Late again, Max?
Yes, Mrs. Huckley. I don't want to be a monster.
I mean,
You know what's oh, does he turn? The
this kid
kid
turn into a
turns
monster?
My Pet
Way
Monster?
scarier thing.
That's what changes Max into a monster. It's gonna happen.
My pet monster? They turned him into a monster, now he's also their pet?
you can't get away that easily.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, that's it.
Hey, there's the monster!
It was also filmed on an iPhone flip phone.
This is
Show 'em
so
on
bad. Yeah, it's like supposed to be like a slapstick.
Actually, that's my pet monster. It's grotesque, isn't it?
It's disgusting.
It's your brother.
Come on.
Why do they refuse to show the monster in the fucking trailer?
Yeah, you're right.
Put down that
Maybe because they didn't have the technology done. It doesn't even look like this stuffed animal.
No.
Smith is my pet monster. New from High Tops Video.
High Tox video.
Why are they like? It's so weird because it was a big toy.
Yeah, that's weird.
So they could have done. First off, I know they had an animated show.
Oh, right.
That which makes sense, but there's no reason why. You know, that's what it is. Like back then, like when they would try to make like superhero movies, or
Yeah.
they would try to make like stuff like that. They just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
it would just look so bad. Like that was bad for even back then because that was
Yeah.
like 86, 87 probably. That's
Yeah,
when
they
it
didn't have a
happened.
budget. I'm
No
sure at
budget,
all.
no budget, no. Unless you're like Rick Baker or you're like George Lucas and you're having the early
Sure.
version of what's going on now. That's what it was. You're literally filming that in the parking lot of in Akron, Ohio. You know.
Back to wrestling figures.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
I'm just
go
really
for it.
interested because I even know where I'm going. I mean, this is a leading question.
Oh.
There was 3 kids growing up for me: wrestling figures kids, GI Joe kids, Transformers kids. Did you have GI Joes or Transformers, or just strictly wrestling?
I had wrestling, GI Joe, something barely any. I had Transformers and I had GoBots.
Oh, GoBots, the cheap man's Transformers.
Yes,
but
yeah.
we had them. They were great.
Yeah, but I had Optimus Prime. I had my favorite was
Optimus Prime's Transformers.
Yeah, I know.
That's legit. Okay,
Yeah. No, I had both.
just making sure.
And the cassette tape one I used to love.
Oh yeah, Ravager. Or the radio guy because that was Soundwave.
No,
And then the actual
looked
cassette.
like a cassette tape.
Yeah, there was 2 or 3, but I think one of them was Ravager. I
Okay.
know them all like specifically. It's
Yeah,
weird.
I know you're a big toy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wrestling was big. GI Joe, I had tons of Star Wars figures. I had a
Oh.
bunch of Star Wars figures. Return of the Jedi was my favorite Star Wars back in the day, and I had a bunch of that. I had the Ewok Village, that village.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah.
They repurposed it for when Robin Hood movie came out. They just resold you the Ewok Village as the Robin Hood like playset. I swear.
I'm surprised they had that many left over, to be honest.
I think they just had the mold.
Yeah.
And they didn't have them left over. They were just sitting in a fucking factory.
Because both were Kenner, I'm guessing.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
Kenner. I know your shit. All right.
Oh yeah, I know.
yeah.
But toys are.
What was your favorite toy growing up? We were like, this was my favorite. If you could repurchase any toy from your childhood.
You know what? Our buddy Andy Fiore, one of the ones. It's not my favorite, but he got me. I mentioned it to him once
Mm-hmm.
at my birthday one year. He got me Mad Balls. He got me a
Mad
Mad
Balls.
Ball.
Cool.
I was huge into Mad Ball. But I'd say my favorite would probably be it's got to be that Ewok thing. I was a big He-Man guy too.
Oh, He-Man.
So I had the Castle's Grayskull.
Grayskull, Castle Grayskull, yeah.
Castle Grayskull. He-Man might have been my favorite. He-Man, if I'm thinking really in my gut, Beast Man I loved. He-Man I loved. I had She-Ra. I had Battle Cat / Cringer. I had Skeletor. I had the Skeletor that the chest
Yep, battle damage.
one. and
Yeah,
then there was,
so fun.
And then there was the guy that had 3 faces. Remember?
Manny faces. I think he was Hispanic. Manny. It was Manny faces.
Racist. And
Yeah.
so He-Man was huge.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah.
Dude, He-Man, they did this thing now. You got to pull this up, Matt. Matty Collector did a that's a company. They did a new Castle Grayskull. It was like $500 and it's like this. Evan Williams has it. Like it's like 6 feet. It's huge. It's unbelievable.
And is it like for adults or is it?
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't for kids.
Yeah.
It's for all the people who are like,
I was obsessed with this.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
There's people like me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then they did Snake Mountain, which was the villain castle,
Yes.
and it had never had the microphone that you'd like sing into it.
Yes, I do remember.
So cool. Oh, so cool.
Yes,
So this is the
dude.
Maddie Collector one.
That's Grayskull, right?
That's Grayskull. See, like,
Yes, I had that, dude. Oh my god, I love that thing so much.
see, but right now what you're seeing is your mind is looking at this and you're going, "That's what I had." No, no, no.
I
What
had
you
a-
had
I
was
had a
way cheaper
way
looking.
cheaper version
This
of that,
is
yeah.
like unbelievable.
This how big? Well, that's definitely way bigger than.
Dude,
what
it's so the one we had was like this, like a little baby. This thing is like this. It folds out 3 ways. There's
and Evan got it.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Evan has it and he loves it. It's like I think yeah, it's the one thing he kept in the divorce. I
Oh,
think,
I'm trying to see the
like,
figures they
it's
have
good.
there. You almost can like remember how they smell. Like you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like that new
New toy
figurine. Yeah, the new toy. Yeah, like absolutely. I didn't
Oh.
have Ninja Turtles. I didn't have.
Oh,
but
I was
would,
big on Ninja
But a little bit older, and I would play the game. I would play the Nintendo game.
Impossible.
Impossible game. The underwater
Fucking
bomb detonation.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. I get shocked. It was a nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brutal.
So you're just slightly old enough to me that you had more Star Wars toys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
my brother had all the Star Wars toys because he was old. He was born in 79. I was born in 81. So I got the tail end of some Star Wars.
Yeah.
But for me, it was more G.I. Joe.
Yeah. My friend Tom had a bunch of GI Joe. I'm pretty sure he's the one who had GI Joe. I had like I think I had some figurines, but no like setups, and no, I wasn't like I wasn't
bases?
obsessed with GI Joe. What?
No bases.
I don't think so.
The base.
No.
Give me a base.
He-Man was big, and then the Star Wars stuff was big, and then I'm trying to think what else. And then Cabbage Patch dolls. Then they had the ones where it was like this weird Cabbage Patch doll hybrid. Do you remember what those were called? Like it was half animal. Like it was like Island of Dr. Moreau.
What?
like it was like they were
No.
called like not Kooshas or something with a K, like Koopas or something like that. Where it was like they're supposed to be like the pet version of the Cabbage Patch dolls. Cabbage Patch dolls. You know that you're my sister is a year older than you. Like Cabbage Patch dolls was like insanity. People
I remember-
would, like
Oh,
like,
these.
murder people. There it
What are
is.
they called?
I don't know what they're. Let me see. Pet version of Kusa.
Wow. I know everything, and somehow I don't know about
You know about this? Yeah, I had one of these.
Those are freaky.
Yeah, they're a little weird, but you didn't think anything of it when you were a kid.
Yeah.
But I had Cabbage Patch dolls. I had that.
Yeah, people went crazy for Cabbage Patch Kids. But go ahead.
Yeah, totally. Did you have a bunch? Well,
I had
think-
none.
I think 2, or my sisters
sister had
had them, and yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I had.
I had
one,
Popples.
maybe.
You remember Popples?
I remember it, but I don't think. I think it was past my time. I would before. Yeah, after my time.
Popples were like, it was like a animal that it was a stuffed animal that would form into a ball.
Yeah, maybe I did have Popples.
Popples.
My sister had Popples. She 100%
Everyone's
had
sister
Popples.
did. They were
Yes.
for women, and I loved it.
I'll tell you what I had. I don't remember this. Pogo Ball.
Oh yeah.
Pogo Ball is what you call it, even if you're about to. I don't know the rest of it, but I got that for like a birthday or something. And it was just like an inflatable ball that had a pogo, like a plastic ring around the ball.
You stood on
and
the
you used
pogo
like
ball.
it was like a
and
pogo.
you could
stick
jump
or something.
around.
Yeah, yeah.
Pogo ball was fun. Remember, did you have Skip It?
Skip it. I'm too old to skip it.
Skip it. Do hop.
People
hop,
were
hop.
obsessed with Skip It.
obsessed.
Yeah, I don't know. When people brought up Skip It to me later in life, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it was this. It was like, how many
Yeah.
think how Skip It worked? Skip It, if you for the audio listeners, was like a circle, and then it was like a rope. Then you just kind of like run around and you jump over. It was like a one-man jump rope, or it was used as a mace if you were someone's older brother, and my brother would smash me in the back with this giant plastic thing.
A Mad Max weapon.
Every toy is like, well, this is also going to be a weapon. Like, you got to understand,
Yeah.
like, every toy was a weapon.
Remember when, like, even besides that, like, you almost went more ape shit for, like, I don't know if this is, like, people have said this before, but, like, the packaging, the stuff. Like, Christmas was great, but even more so was, like, the wrapping paper cardboard roll that you could use
right.
as a sword
Whip
for
each
an
other with
hour. And then it would, like, unravel because you're just beating your cousin with it or whoever.
That's
I wish I had a brother. I didn't have a brother. I couldn't beat up my sisters, but
one sister. How many sisters do you have?
2.
Older?
Older and younger. I'm
You're the middle child?
Yeah.
What the I just, my whole life I'm saying I'm not a comedian because I was a middle child, but all of the evidence is
It's a
against
lot,
that.
right? Yeah.
I mean,
A lot
we are
middle.
comedians because we're middle children.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I think. You just didn't get the love.
Well, if you talk to my sisters, they'll say that I was the favorite, but I don't think that's the case.
You're the first. You're the boy.
The boy was
so
the
I
boy.
get there's something there.
Maybe, but who knows? I think everybody's perspective is the other kids are getting more attention than me. What do I do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was the younger brother, and then my sister was the girl. The younger sister was a girl. So she was so my brother was the firstborn, loved. Younger sister, first girl. So they were like, everyone's head over heels
Yeah,
for her.
yeah.
Even to this day, I'm like kind of furious. Like my family, they go see my sister's got all these kids. My parents on my parents' side are babysitting that kid every night. I think they've met Calvin twice. I'm like, whatever. But Tita's parents love Calvin.
You were born. They were like, we already have one of these.
Let me tell you what Tita's dad does. This is my favorite. Tita's dad is in love with Calvin. They have this weird bond. I'm watching them. Calvin, who is 9 months old, with Tita's dad, they're sitting outside, and they don't see me. And I see Calvin going, ma. He's making noises. And then Paul, Tita's dad, looks at him and goes, 5:30? And then goes back to whatever he's doing. Literally, Calvin said, well, who knows? He understood it, and then went, 5:30. And that was that. And I'm like, it's like fucking crazy. I'm like, well, they have their own language? I don't know what's happening there.
Probably does him justice because he's getting the cadence of a conversation from Tita's dad. That's so funny.
His dad's just watering the lawn, and then looks back and goes, 5:30. We'll do that. We'll do that at 5:30. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like he's going, what time do you want to do that thing? What time do you want to go over and pick up that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, 5:30?
All right, 5:30. Yeah.
5:30.
All right, see you there.
All right.
Like, I love it. It's
Maybe,
great.
like, does Tita's dad know baby? Does he just know the language of baby?
I think he knows baby.
Well, apparently, I was watching this thing about this great show on Netflix now called it's called Weird, whatever it is, but it's all about like pyramids and like the powers of the brain, and it's
Sure.
William Shatner hosting it, whatever it is. They have one about. They talk about how when you're a baby, babies are sponges. It's like so you're using the most amount of your brain. Your course, you haven't experienced stuff yet, so you have the capability to learn all the languages at that point.
Oh, I gotta start doing that shit.
What ends up happening is you, as a baby, you have the capability to learn the 800 sounds to make up all the languages of the world. But once you start learning your native language, it goes from 800 sounds down to 50 to your. That's why they want to teach kids Spanish and languages in their kids, because they can learn that way easier than you or I could right now.
How old? I mean, how old? How do I get now? I mean,
I think
can I still try?
like toddlers and babies and like right away.
All right, good.
I think that's why they had those baby Einstein things. I don't know if they found those are shitty or not, but I mean, like they seem those are the things that teach them, like even if it's a little bit of something, to keep those pathways open in the brain.
Let me tell you this: I'm done buying shit for this baby because every single thing you buy, 3 months later they go, 100 children have died from this.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, I mean, we bought him a chair. We call him the captain's chair. We put him in the captain's chair. We love the captain's chair. Calvin, ready for the captain's chair? Yeah. 3 days ago, captain's chair kills 13 children. Like, well, what the fuck do I do? I'm like, Tina, and now he loves the captain's chair, and I gotta fucking nail the thing. And also, I put it because it rocks or it doesn't rock. Like, you can rock where you can make it stable. I put it. He's getting a little bigger. I put him. He literally leans forward. Thing almost flips over onto his head. I go, all right. So I guess I gotta tie. This is what
14.
Yeah, goddamn captain's
So
chair.
you just chucked it.
No, we keep it in standard. It was killing infants, so he's past the time of like he's made it out alive.
Like a weight thing or something where he's like stable enough where he's fine.
It was the way they sit in it. They're like choking to death or something. So like he's big enough now that
He doesn't sit that way.
Yeah, he doesn't sit that way or something. But also he can make this thing topple on its own now. The fucking captain shit. Everything kills them, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's also like a clothes thing where it's like, man, you grow out. He's gonna grow out of those clothes pretty fast. That's why people, that's why people, the hand-me-downs. Like I'm dating somebody that has a kid, and she's like, oh, I just take all the hand-me-downs, and then whatever I can use for him, I use for him. I bought him a sweatshirt from this place called the Irish Pub in Atlantic City, and she's like, I'm like, oh, it's a little bit big. She's like, that's fine. It's fine. I'll put it in a drawer. It's fine. He'll use it.
Dude, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before. He's all hand-me-downs. This kid, because my sister.
Most kids are. I think I was. Everybody was.
Right, but my sister's had a baby, so we have all my sister's clothes. But then Tita's friend also had a baby, so we got all their stuff. So my son has multiple outfits that say "little brother." So I honestly think when he gets older, he's gonna look at that and be like, "What did you guys
What happened
tell
to my
me?" Yeah. He has a shirt that says, he has a bib that says, "Who stole my matzah?" Just like he's got his Jewish and little brother. He's gonna pick. He was kidnapped.
He does like a usual suspect, like bored with yarn kind of thing. He's like, I'm a Jewish guy whose brother may or not been murdered by my parents.
Yeah.
What's happening? Yeah.
How are we doing on time? I think that's it, right?
We're at like about 50 minutes.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. We can do a little more if you want. I thought we were an hour and a half. Not for any reason other than I looked at my clock. So we did toys. There was something else I actually wrote down things I wanted to talk to you about. Let me look at one more of those. I hate this is so.
Do not. Yeah, it's not awkward at all.
don't.
I'll talk about whatever. Is this Patreon or this is other?
This is the real deal.
Real deal,
I
baby.
don't remember what it was.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I did tell you about
Was it something to ask, or you mean something that?
something I was like, This is what Sean is gonna fucking go crazy for.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I told you I go crazy for the movie, the Goodfellas meetup.
You're a big movie guy.
I'm a huge movie guy, and then I'm a big barbecue guy. Was it barbecue?
No. All right. Let's do. What movies do you love? What movie do you love that you're like you probably wouldn't tell anybody? What's a guilty pleasure movie that you're like I loved it, everyone else hates it,
Oh, 10 Things I Hate About You. Oh, everybody else hates it?
or whatever? 10 Things I Hate About You is a good one though.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. But I feel corny saying how much I love that movie.
Really?
Yeah, or Devil Wears Prada. But I will say this: you ever watch Devil Wears Prada?
A long time ago.
Great movie. I thought it was because it was Anne Hathaway and what it was about. Like it wasn't really taken that seriously. But then I was like, I listened to the Rewatchables podcast about movies. It's fantastic. But they're like, oh yeah, like she got nominated. Somebody got nominated for an Oscar or something.
Yeah.
It was like actually thought of as a really good movie, and it is. But I don't think of it as Oscar caliber.
I think it's respected.
I think it's like I thought it was gonna like a really good chick flick. When people call those chick, I'm like, it's just not. It's just a good movie.
Yeah, we've all been there.
It's got Adrienne Grenier. It's got Vinny Chase.
Right, he's in it
So I
for
was
a
like, that's why I
second.
didn't take it seriously.
Yeah, but what's her name? Melanie Griffith? That's not her name.
No, no, Anne
Sandra
Hathaway
Bernhard?
and you mean Meryl Streep?
Meryl Streep. Why'd I blank on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually reordered my Star Wars. I've always been Return of the Jedi, always my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And to this day,
I think we're in the minority with that.
we are.
Yeah.
People hated Ewoks, and I get it. But I just recently rewatched A New Hope, the first one, which I always thought was boring. But now, after watching Kenobi, Rogue One,
Rogue One's great. I
prequels,
haven't watched Kenobi yet.
Rogue One might be the best Star Wars movie.
You think so?
Time will tell.
Well, I will say this: a big thing. It's a quality movie with no like goofiness or pretense. It's just a straight up good story, and it's what's his name? It's Oscar Isaac, right?
No, he's not.
Oh no. Isn't he the pilot in it? Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac's in the other Star Wars movies. No,
Oh, okay.
the guy who
Anyway.
plays Andor is whatever.
Whatever it is. But I will say it's a really good movie that like takes care of a plot hole.
Yeah, a major plot hole.
Yeah.
And they made it better.
Without
Yeah.
it being like we're beating you over the head with this. It's like it actually makes
No,
sense.
we did this on purpose.
Yeah.
And all of these people sacrificed themselves. That makes that one tiny thing
yeah.
mean so much more, and literally makes the original Star Wars movie a better movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the humor in it wasn't knocked over the head. The humor was from Casey, the robot, Kate Urso. He was the guy, you know who he is. Anyway, the guy who did the voice for that robot was like, he was funny, but it wasn't like, wah, wah, wah. It was like, oh no, this is just his personality. And that's great.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
It wasn't like too cheesy. I will say this. I'll give you another theory like this. And it's kind of like a post fixing of a movie. And people love this movie, but I think Creed 2 made Rocky 4 a better movie.
Yeah.
Because they fixed the idea of like Creed is so good.
People hate it. I loved it.
Creed, the first one?
Some people do.
Really?
I love Creed and Creed 2 are both great.
So Rocky 4 is not a great movie. It's very like beat you over the head with the Russia America
It's
thing.
fun.
But it's fun. It's very 80s, but it's fun bad movie energy. It's like that kind of thing, right? But then I know Rocky 5 kind of sucked with Tommy Gunn. That kind of sucked.
Sure.
But the one where he fights, what's his name? And then they make it like he comes back out of
Balboa.
retirement, and they make it like it's for real and it's supposed to be like that actually one I didn't mind. And I think that set the stage for Creed to be so good.
I pause you. I make this argument, and I don't give a fuck. Rocky 1 and Balboa are the two best Rocky movies. I think the last.
You think Balboa? Oh,
Balboa,
like Rocky movie.
That last.
You put Creed in the same world?
Not really.
No, it's not.
Not really. But I think Balboa is a beautiful, fucking amazing movie about a guy who's just got a little bit left. And I cry every time. That speech he tells about is like, he goes like, that's what losers do, and you're not one of them. He's yelling at his kid is amazing. Also, a guy that like has been in the business forever and he's broke. It's like, I relate to this.
Yeah.
You know, and but he's still fighting. He's still holding on.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's great. That one gets shit on. That one does get shit on.
I don't let them. Not around me.
Yeah.
Not around me. Too bad. Also, just to that movie, like, and I gotta say this is like, when I had the kid, I started to kind of be like, I think it's over for me, like comedy wise. It's like I think I'm just kind of like, I'll just maintain water. But I think that the opportunities that I was expecting to have never really happened, and I was starting to believe that for a few months.
I also think some of them don't exist. All right, sorry to interrupt
yeah.
you, but I think things have changed.
Right, but to that, it's like, no, Greg, that's not what perseverance is.
Right.
Now it's dig deep and start fighting harder even harder
Yeah.
and make shit happen
Yeah.
and do it again. And I'm like, yeah, man. Like I was even this podcast. I'm like, I was losing some Patreon subscribers. People don't like it. People always talk about how the Rad Dudecast was better. No one said that. Just all about everyone talked about how they love the Rad Dudecast. And I'm like, that's okay. This is still. It took you 3 years to figure out the Rad Dudecast. It's like you fight harder. You keep going. You fucking when you're done, you're not done. It's not about fighting when you believe. It's about fighting when you don't believe.
That's a good point.
And I kind of stopped believing, and now it's like time to fight harder again.
I'm very inspired. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. And I go back and forth on that shit too, where I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm done with this and I don't want to put up with the bullshit of it. But it's like, oh, I should just be working harder than ever. Because like you said, it's like we're in a position where we work in a business where a lot of people can't get to a point that they're working in the business. That's like that Dana Gould. You know the Dana Gould thing? When Dana Gould tells the whole story about, he did it at Montreal. I did like the keynote. And he said,
The
he
third
said
time
the
someone's
words,
brought this up, I haven't seen it.
he said, if you are working in this business, you've won. You're successful. You've won. If you're working in comedy, think about how hard that is to do. And you're working in show, but you've won. Because he has that story about auditioning for, I think it was Dana Gould, right? Where he auditioned for SNL.
it was because I've heard the story.
Flew him out to New York from L.A. And then he goes and kills the audition. And on the way back to L.A., he's like, I'm going to be on SNL. I'll have to okay, we got to take the kids out of school. We're going to find a place in New York. I'm going to tell my wife. She's going to tell her job. We'll figure it out. And he's on the private plane that SNL provided for him to get back to LA. And he goes, I don't know who you are, Chris Rock or Adam Sandler, but I'm going to be on SNL.
Right.
But it's a great moment. And then, but also Dana Gould's a guy who literally wrote and produced for The Simpsons. And, but they give you that's perspective. The SNL thing that probably fucked him up for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Will Ferrell. I thought I thought my career, I thought it was going to be, or Lou, and whatever. And like, I had all these career goals that were like, get a half hour, do this, blah, 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 blah. And I never got into those goals. And I just hate shitting on myself forever. But then when my wife made me do, she was like, write down your achievements, write down your goals. And so you start writing down your achievements, and then you realize you've gotten so much more. You just may not have gotten the goals, because comedy's different.
Yeah.
But like, I helped write the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah.
It's like, that is a thing that I would never put on a goals list, but then I just don't count it. It's like, no, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with
Because
you?
you're in it and you're like, oh, I'm doing this because I was asked and I didn't think of it as a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't a thing. But it's like, no, man. Like, we're in the NBA. I try to tell young comics, like, even if you're in New York, you're in the NBA.
And totally. And there is a thing when the writing shit down and stuff. I even stopped doing it like an idiot. I should start doing it again. Yeah. I did it once. I was trying to think of things that I would want, and one of them, this is about 7 years ago. I did it. I wrote down get past the Comedy Cellar, and it was like a pipe dream in my head that I'm like, yeah, I'd like that to happen. Right. 2 weeks later, I was working at the Comedy Cellar.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was because it was Kevin Brennan came to stand in New York. I did well in front of him. He said, "You want to open for me?" I did that. I did well, and he was like, "Okay, I'll recommend you for the Cellar."
Wow.
This is 7 years, 8 years, whatever it was. But I don't know. I'm not saying it wouldn't have happened if I didn't write it down on that list. But I'm like, I think there is a weird. Ever since I watched Surviving Death on Netflix, I think there's this weird atomic level part, not magic based, science based particle that is connecting all of us. I do believe that. Well, I think it's something that's shared. The same way, like potential versus kinetic energy. The whole idea when somebody dies, where does that energy go? It doesn't just go into the ground. It's got to go somewhere. So it's something that we don't understand. Our physics doesn't understand. But obviously, by putting that thought out there, there's something physical that's happening that's either kind of, making you get to that point or bringing yourself to that point. I know it sounds corny, but
it's
I
not
do
corny.
believe it.
But I think I would say it's even easier than that to some things of like when you say I don't like money, when you thinking like whatever, when money comes around, it's a millionth of a second that you might like. If you're saying I want to be past the cellar, I'm good enough to be here. When you walk in front of Esty, you're like, yeah, I'm good enough to be here.
Right.
And then she goes, he's good enough to be here. But if you walk in, you go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm here.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm sorry. She's not going to think you're good. Like, it's like if you don't believe, you don't put out that you believe, you don't put yourself in the positions to win. You need to be putting yourself into positions to win.
Yeah.
And the more you do that, the better you get. I mean, comedy's going so well for me right now because I don't give a fuck because I have a kid.
Yeah.
And all I care about is this kid.
Right.
And so now I'm like, I mean, even like, I was trying to make a little more money. I messaged one of the bookers at one of the clubs, and I was like, hey, I need more work. I need money. And they were like, of course. But like, if I didn't have the kid, if I wasn't thinking about him, that message would have taken me 6 weeks to ask. I wouldn't have believed in myself.
Yeah.
But she was like, no, yeah, of course. I'll give you a response. I'll give you some more money.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's an energy-based thing, and it sounds very crystals and planets aligning. But what I think it is, like, do you ever watch Surviving Death on Netflix?
No.
First off, I think it made me believe in reincarnation,
Right.
which I know sounds whack. But
Well, I'll pause it and I can tell you how that's actually reincarnation is actually real. But I'll tell you in a second when you're done.
okay, so the other thing, which I think is along the same lines we're talking about, is they have these other stories about how this one guy was some old serious farmer. This is in, like, I don't know, 1960s or something. And in the middle of the night, he gets up, and his wife is like, "What's up?" And he's like, my brother's calling for me. My brother's calling for me. My brother." And he's looking. He thinks the guy's outside. He's looking out his window. And she's like, "Your brother's not. What are you talking about? It's the middle of the night. Your brother's not there." He does it again. 2 hours later, wakes up. "My brother needs me. I hear him. He's calling for me." Whatever it is. The next day, they find out when that happened, the brother was getting stabbed to death.
Oh my God.
Now, that's what I'm saying. You could say it's intuition, but I think intuition is based off some kind of science where they have shared particles. They have that, and then those particles are flaring up when the other person needs you. I think things are. I know it sounds crazy, but I think people are reacting.
I don't.
So what are you saying about reincarnation?
Well, I don't know any. I can't comment on that. But reincarnation is like, well, if you die, you go into the dirt, and then dirt creates flowers or strawberries. People eat the strawberries. There's only so much matter on Earth that it's continually being recycled. So we are all stardust. We're all parts of this. So we literally are. The only thing we don't have, and I want to add something else to this, is those specific memories of that time. So with my son, I had this, right? How you live forever is my DNA has now merged with Tita's DNA to create a new person. That he's literally part of me. That is like a fingernail that is growing into another human. The only thing he doesn't have is my consciousness with him. He doesn't believe he's me. But what makes him there? That is literally me living a life. He's literally part of me.
Right.
He just doesn't have the memories. So like we are all connected. And like if you think about it, it's all humans are somewhere anyway. So we are all part of each other.
Right. Yeah.
It's just not like hokey dokey magic bullshit.
I don't think it's magic bullshit, but if you watch this thing, because besides, I think you're right. Yes, that's 100% correct. But I also think there's thousands of examples of. There's this one thing from the show of the. Usually it starts when they're young. They're like 2, 3 years old, and these kids have like really bad nightmares. And then their parents and this one kid they talked to, and they had this guy, this expert that worked with him. He was telling his mom he was obsessed with Hollywood. His mom never exposed him to Hollywood, but then he would say Hollywood would show up. They were watching an old movie once, and he goes, "That's where I live. That's my home."
Oh,
right.
This.
And I told you about this already.
Keep telling you.
And then she's like, "Okay, he's just into old Hollywood, I guess, whatever it is."
Yeah.
So she gets this old book about Hollywood that has like stills from movies from like the 30s and from the 40s, and they're going through the book, and he was like, he sees this still on this. I forget what the name of the movie was. These 3 actors standing there. He goes, "That's my friend. That's my friend George." And then behind him is some extra or something. He goes, "And that's me." And it turned out the guy behind them was some guy who was acting for a bit. Then he turned into a director and a producer, and he lived in Hollywood. This fucking kid, before he was 5, when he's 4 years old, is giving his parents and this researcher like 50 facts about this guy's life. So they find the guy's daughter. The kid got all these facts were correct. They're like only the 2 of them they couldn't confirm because the daughter didn't know if it was true or not. Right.
Right.
One of them was at one point he goes, "I died when I was 59," and his daughter goes, "I'm sorry, he died when he was 61." They looked at his birth certificate. The guy died when he was fucking 59. So it's like this crazy shit that I'm like, I think it's science. I think it's science based. And then when they get to be 5, there's another example in it too that you can watch. That's insane. But then they get to be like 5, and then their actual like how you don't remember before 5.
Right.
Why don't we remember anything before 5 years old? Mm-hmm. Why not?
Because you're so traumatized by the life you're probably living before then.
I'm not saying everything is reincarnation, but I'm saying that it makes no sense that most people don't remember shit until 5 years old. And it's just, maybe just because your brain isn't formed enough yet. Maybe.
But there's like, I think they say that like there's reasons for that. I don't know them. Also, it's like there's the trauma. Also, a lot of the stuff you're saying too. I don't want to like because I'm this guy.
No, go ahead. I want to hear.
But a lot of that stuff too is like. A lot of it is like sometimes like you're watching the TV show of it, like you don't know like what the parents pushed, what whispers. There's all a lot of that. Like I don't want to ruin the conversation, but I'm very skeptical of that.
But I'm okay. So behind that would be motive, right? A lot of people are like, yeah, but they get to do the show on Netflix. I'm like, how much? We're working show business. How much are they actually making off that? Like, and also like, I don't think like if you. I think especially as comics, I think we could sniff out bullshit. And if you see these people on the thing, these are like This one kid, it was in the middle of Oklahoma. These are God-fearing people that I would probably think this is like diabolical or demonic or something.
Right.
At first, and then they were just wanted to help their son. They look. I think you can tell when people are like bullshitting.
Right.
And you're right. It could totally.
But I don't know
be a
that they
scam.
know that they're bullshitting.
What?
Like I don't know that they know they're bullshitting. You know what I mean?
Well, if they're feeding the kid info, they would have to know that. But like the Hollywood one is really freaky. And if it's coincidence, say it's not the parents, and say it's coincidence, it's like winning 3 lottos in a row. Like it's insane that he
Right.
would know this. It wasn't just like I live on this block and where you could just guess. It was like I bought my daughter a green car. He bought me a green car. It was like all
Right.
these really detailed things.
But it's the same shit as like, it's the same thing that like mediums do.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Yes, I get
Because
I think
there's a
that's-
way to work it.
That's cold reading. But that's not what's happening here.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, but like,
I get that. And I don't buy that
and I'm
shit
not
either.
I don't want to.
No, I think it's interesting. I'd rather talk because I'm not saying 100% believe. It just made me go, holy shit. And also, there's a lot of cultures where it's just an accepted thing that this is that reincarnation's a thing.
No. I mean, I'm not like totally whatever, but I guess it's when you go with science based, like that means it has to be able to be reproduced. You know, it's not science until it's like, oh no, we've done the tests and it's reproducible and this is how this works. It's right now we're like, well, we don't know what's going on. It's blah blah blah. It could be whatever. Maybe it's a scam. Maybe it's not. A lot of these things are just people like they don't realize they're doing stuff and then it works out that way. Like I know a lot of palm readers and a lot of those people
think that they're actually for real.
they don't think they think they're doing it. They don't know that they're not like, oh, this is a scam. Like those tarot card readers.
Oh,
a lot of them
that's a little
believe
bit
what they're
different
doing
because
is
that's
like, oh no, this is real.
Well, that's also like they're just like playing a card game with something. You know what I'm saying? Like they have it because they have a set of rules.
Right.
So that's a little bit different as well.
We're palm readers.
There's a great video online of the Long Island Medium bombing on like the Today Show or like Kelly and Michael like from back in like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And she's trying to cold read the audience and she goes, I'm seeing a J, like somebody with a relative with a J in this section that nobody's reacting. She's
Oh,
just
it's funny.
bombing. And it was great.
This-
And then they took a break. Kelly Ripa goes, let's take a break. Let's come back. We'll reset. We'll reset. Oh, it's so fantastic.
There was a medium I opened for at a comedy club once that I was featuring, and she goes, is anybody like, she just all bullshit, you know?
Nah.
At the end, this woman stands up crying, and she goes, she was like, my son, I can't remember the explanation. She was like, my son, is he okay? Is he okay? And I saw that medium literally get shook and go, I just want everyone to know everyone's okay.
Yeah.
And I went, fuck this lady.
Fuck this lady.
Fuck this lady. She comes back to the green room. I said, you're not allowed in here. And I locked the green room on her. And I
Did
wouldn't
you
let her in.
really?
Yeah. And I wouldn't let her in. And she was like, what the fuck? And then she told the club manager.
What club is it, can you say?
I don't want to say, but that they like me more. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'll never work here again. But that woman is not coming into this. And it was like this weird stalemate. She went into, and she just didn't. She
what
just
night of the
went in
weekend was that?
kitchen. That was probably like a Wednesday or Thursday or something. It wasn't all weekend.
Oh, it was. Oh, okay.
It was like a one night thing.
Oh, it was one night thing. And then, so they just had to deal with that night.
Yeah, I went, no, I'm not letting her in. I don't give a fuck. She's not allowed in here. And I think the GM looked at me like, he's going to fight someone.
It was like you were that man. Well,
I was
I'm
that
with
mad.
you with that stuff. I'm with you with that.
Yeah.
That's taking advantage. That's
Yeah.
full on taking. And then the gall to have a conscience after it, and then and back right down.
Yeah.
At least double down on your shitty scam.
Right. Be like he's dying again a million times.
See, but the thing about it is that reincarnation stuff. Because the thing about the thing with this with the mediums, even that guy, what is his name, John Brown or whatever his name was, the guy John something, and he was just had a TV show and he was doing these huge theater shows, making tons of money. The parents of this child of this reincarnation story, I don't see them making a lot of. I don't think there's a lot of money to be made in this. They're not touring this.
Well, let me pause you right there. How much money do you think the people who would go on Maury and be like, you know, my dad is like
They're making. What do you think? $300.
$50, yeah, and they don't give a fuck. It's just fun. I'm not saying they're not whatever.
But you see them, and that's what I'm saying. Okay, so there you go. The perfect example. Those people, you're like, you just want to be on TV.
Yeah.
If you see these people, watch. I just want you to watch this one thing, and you tell me. If you still think it's bullshit, that's cool.
No, I don't think that I honestly don't think that they're people who are like, I want to be on TV. I think they're people who don't realize They believe a little bit of a thing that's kind of happening, and they don't realize either they're kind of feeding it to them, or like I don't think it's intentional.
Okay. All right.
I think it's like a lot of like
valid.
It's the God works in mysterious ways thing, where it's like, oh, how do you know God exists? Oh, well, because I was in a car accident and I got out and everyone died except me, and I realized God loved me. It's like, no, all the you're manipulating the situation to make yourself believe, and then the more evidence you have, you're putting into that. It's kind of what we do in our comedy career. Like every time something successful happens, we go, "See, I should still be here." And it's like, no, look at the losses. Yeah. We should have been dead years ago.
You're only as good as your last set.
Yeah.
You're like,
all right.
How many sets do you have? Where you're like, oh my God, am I a genius? Am I amazing?
That'll wrap it.
Nice,
I think we're good. Sean, thanks so much for coming.
How was that? Was that the show? Was that good for the show?
That was great.
Fantastic.
That was great. Well, first of all, it's like I love you, so it's like we always have a good time talking.
Yes.
Where can they find you? Tell them where they can find you.
I'm at Shawnee Time. That's SEANYTIME on Instagram, and at Shawnee Time TikTok on TikTok. I have a radio show every Wednesday at 4 p.m. on Raw Dog 99 on Sirius XM, and Brand New Jerks podcast with a really funny comic named Ray Zawadney.
Nice, and you put up great clips on that too. I think it's really.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, we're trying to like be actually like. Consistent and see what happens there. We're trying to feed the algorithm, feed the monster.
Feed the monster
AI.
dog, my pet monster. Also, Max Marcus Comedy.
Yep.
Follow Max, the sweet Max, who I was a little mean to today, but who gives a shit?
That's fine.
And join up down that Patreon, guys. The Greg Stone Zone. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to be. I'm excited. I'm kind of reinvigorated to kind of bring stuff back, make some really good content. So I'm excited about that. I'm Greg F. Stone. Follow me on. Also, if you like Sean, you know what you could do for Sean, or you could do for any of these people. Just comment on their shit. Help the algorithm. Push the algorithm forward for everyone. Share, love, send them a message, and that'll do it. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you real soon. Whip it up.
Pick up your head, pick up your body. Get on the bus, it's time to party. It's Gregory. It is a Saturday night, Gregory. Take your socks off and